There is a common acceptance that I would have never noticed if it wasn't for this class. There exists a white ignorance in our world. Before, I lived in a realm of reality that purged racist ideologies and paradigms. I was to understand, of course, that racism is not gone and probably will never be. However, I believe that the anti-black social and political constructs of the post-Civil War America had vanished and blacks were being assimilated into the body politic of America. All in all, I was ready to believe that through the struggles that blacks have endured to secure equality, the collective white attitude and acceptance of the black body had shifted. However, it seems to me now that at our society's root there exists an unwillingness to change as well as a casual disinterest with the so to speak black problems. Charles W. Mills points out in his piece Black Trash how, with the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade, a respect and understanding between white and people of color was lost. The white vision of the black populace had been skewed into an imagery of savagery and nothingness. Mills goes further into this idea of the black body being the excrement of the white body politic. The black population in America is seen by the social and governmental infrastructure as being an impurity and a barrier to their harmony. The black body should not be seen or heard. Lewis R. Gordon suggests in his piece Existential Dynamics of Theorizing Black Invisibility that white populace may have developed this tolerance for the disinterest in the black body as a means to cope with a horrific reality that the white politic had severely exploited the black body for 400 years. This, of course, being not something that reparations can easily pardon. So in reaction to this perceived helplessness, the white politic adopted an attitude that the black and whites were on the same playing field in complete denial of their misfortune and malnourished platform for success. In the film Bastards of the Party, there is a segment that exposes the active parts that the government took to ensure the oppression of the black populace. It is described by the documentary how with the emergence of the undesirables into white communities, the LAPD began an assault in 1987 on the communities of blacks themselves and literally arrested an entire generation of black people during Operation Hammer. This was a way to establish control over the black community in order to keep them where they were seen to belong. The people that were arrested were considered to have had a gang affiliation and were sent to live out their lives in prison. This is an example of how the problems of the black, in this case the matter that those who were arrested were actively trying to improve their situations in one way or another, are ignored and rehabilitation is no longer the goal. Out of sight, out of mind. The United States has made a substantial effort to ensure that the black population was being taken care of, rather being located away from the white communities. David Frond, in his piece, describes that with the growth of the metropolitan model, whites began to move out of the cities and into the suburbs. He goes on to point out that these suburbs were viewed as a sanctuary from the urban, non-white communities that seemed to gravitate to the cities. Franz says that most whites were convinced that the reason that the suburbs seemed to be white-only communities because the socioeconomic gradation between them and the non-whites due to the effects of the free market economy. This particular meme has spread through the white community in America and perhaps further. Generally, even within the most progressive white families and communities, the black body is conditionally treated as a tainting of society. It is viewed as a blemish in the record of humanity. The social contract that states that if one works hard, they will succeed clearly does not apply to the black population as it does to the white population. This tendency of the ignorance of the black body can be tied into the philosophy of the invisible black individual. Gordon writes that blackness is something that needs to be explained and justified by our society, however, without placing blame on the system that created the blackness in the first place. This is probably due to the fact that there is a denial of the issue the black population in America confronts on both a social and political level. As Franz stated in his essay, the reason for the social and political lag that is displayed by the black population is due to the fact that they are not taking advantage of the opportunities that they themselves are. Non-whites, in this sense, are written off as not working as hard for what they want as the whites. However, Gordon proposed a similar but different view of this mechanism's particular functionality. Socially, the whites are conditioned to look at the issues and struggles of the blacks as simply being the way it is. Blacks are being overdetermined, which he describes actually transforms the conscious black body into a thing. Gordon's essay complements Mills in the sense that both are evaluating the anti-black issue in America through examining how the white society views the black body. Both Mills and Gordon come to the conclusion that the black body to the white politic does not exist. Of course, metaphorically speaking, the black body is viewed as inconvenient and repulsive, Mills, or the black body is being overdetermined, Gordon. Gordon writes that if a black is being overdetermined, then to see that black is to see every black. This illustrates the method in which a white populace would be able to not look at each individual black as a partner in humanity, as unique as themselves.